okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I had no idea. We must have kept him going enough to where there's a weak heartbeat. Nah, it's just the machine calibrating.
Yeah.
This one's going to be different.
I'm not a guitarist.
That's true. This is going to be so different because Sean here.
I'm Sean. Hi.
Sean is one of my diving buddies from way back in the day.
I'll stop, down left.
A lot of people that think that you're just a monkey on the end of the hose, but in reality, you got to know a couple things for this job. Some rudimentary physics, and believe it or not, some ultrasonics.
We've known each other for a good 20 years now.
And it's really an interesting thing because, with diving, it's got a turnover rate like McDonald's.
We go through a lot of people, and you and I, even though I had a 25-year diving career, and I think you were...
Me too.
You were just there. We didn't, we worked alongside each other, but not together.
No, not until towards the end.
Right. But still, we're the same company and we'd see each other, but, you're working over there and I'm working on this project, but, we became friends.
Sean and I went through quite an experience that when we talked about, getting together and doing this, I think you actually brought it up and I was like, oh my God, I totally forgot. We're forbidden to talk about anything that happens offshore, so we don't.
Very much like Vegas, what happens offshore stays offshore.
Yeah, you don't talk about it. You don't do anything. If somebody gets hurt and they lawyer up, you're no longer their friend, blah, 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 blah. But now that neither one of us is in the industry anymore, I feel like spilling my fucking guts. How about you?
I can help. I'll pull out my machete and help.
Nice.
Slay it open.
Nice. So, the incident in question happened when, for me, I was being told at the end of one job that I was requested by Larry. We'll only use first names here. Larry liked me and wanted me to come out as a supervisor. He was being a superintendent on a job for. So we went out and we were picking up old chick sand pipe.
I think that was a burning job, and we were removing pipe.
Yeah, and it was, and we run into these chick sand links, and I'd never heard of chick sand pipe, and it's basically a great big weird bunch of pipe that's all bunched together. So if a storm comes along and yanks on it, it can just yank it all straight.
They had expansion joints.
Right.
Yeah. It is different material to work with. It was wild.
And it was a DP vessel too, dynamic positioning, which means it wasn't held in place by anchors. So all the divers had to be clipped into special guides and everything to keep the umbilicals from getting tangled up in propellers.
Right. It's a type of surface diving.
Yeah.
Check both of his cams, make sure they're locked.
But there's certain regulations where hoses can't go there because these thrusters will eat your hose or just blow your hose away. And you don't want either one.
Yeah, either one is no good. No good at all. The job went pretty well.
It did.
Yeah, and we're heading in. and everything's fine. Then all of a sudden, one of the guys came up to me, the other supervisor, who was not on shift, but I was. But we're underway, so we're third
We're
party.
going home. We're done.
We're not doing anything. Comes up and says, "Do you know what our latitude and longitude are right now?" I've never known that ever.
No.
Ever.
No, I'll give you a block.
I was like, no, why no? And so he said, "Oh, okay." And he kind of hurried off real fast. And I thought, I better figure out what the fuck's going on here.
He piqued your interest. What, why?
I think I was on a Skype call to my girlfriend at the time. And I said, "Babe, I better go." And I went running up. I caught him and said, "What's going on?" He said that there's somebody having some sort of distress and we might need a chopper. And then I went in and there was this guy that something was definitely wrong. I have no idea what, still to this day. No. He all of a sudden made this inhuman noise and just fell over. And the riggers immediately jumped on him with CPR. It's important to note that riggers typically eat too much and smoke a lot.
Oh yeah.
So they were winded in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's their max.
They were
no triathlon. I did breathing and compressions and stood up. Triathlon for a rigger.
I jumped in and I screamed to somebody to get you because I remembered that my girlfriend at the time was in a nursing program and A&P, anatomy and physiology, was kicking her ass, and you told me that you had taken it. So I figured that you knew more than me and I needed somebody up there that I could count on to help me do CPR on this guy.
Oh, I thought you knew I was a DMT paramedic already.
I did not know that at the time.
Oh, yeah, EMT, DMT. That was a green hat at Global.
Hot damn. Yeah. Well, I was never.
Oh, I thought you just got me because you knew I was a pro at it.
No, I got
right.
you because I was taking a calculated guess based on conversations we'd had. And also, I knew you from, just being a diver. And I knew that you were not going to just puss out on me.
No, I never have.
Never. So I was up there giving this guy mouth to mouth while somebody else was doing chest compressions. I can't remember if you got up there while the guy was still alive or not. But I do.
He wasn't cold yet.
He wasn't. Yeah.
He was bloated and yeah.
No, it was. He was.
We were.
It was not good.
It wasn't. I don't eat beef stew to this day.
Oh, God.
It's a horrible thing. If you ever have to do CPR,
it really is.
Man, it's very intimate. And that guy had Dinty Moore beef stew for dinner.
He sure did.
Because every time you breathe in his mouth, the exhales, it was there. It's distinct, and it takes me right there.
Oh, yeah. The thing that I remember the most is every time I'd go down there, to get that seal on his mouth and everything, I'd get poked by his mustache. And I think anytime that any girlfriend in the future ever tells me your pokey mustache hurts, I'm going to shave it for her immediately because I get it now.
I never want to kiss a man. That sealed it for me.
Yeah. And it was too much.
Right.
But we kept on going. And I gave this guy mouth to mouth for about 15 minutes. So that's 20 minutes all told with the guys that had started. Yeah, I remember him being alive and you could feel him, don't give up on me, fight with. And then I went down there and that first breath and he was just gone.
He was physically cold.
He was, yeah.
You could tell he was diminishing in his temperature. Yeah.
It was bad. And then, but you cannot stop. Once you start, you must carry.
That's part of the contract.
That's part of the contract. Once you start CPR, you cannot stop unless you're relieved by a professional, or you are so physically exhausted you cannot carry on.
Right, but we were strapping studs back then.
Freaking
in our prime.
Class 1 commercial deep sea diving hammers. Are you kidding? It's like
you couldn't pick two better people to be working you.
Neither one of us were going to admit defeat in any way, shape, or form.
No, stubborn is part of our DNA.
Yeah, it really is. So I kept on going on this guy, even though I knew he was dead. And then every time I'd come up, I'd catch his eyes, and they were starting to like glaze over. And it was just gnarly. You catch a fish, and you take it off the hook.
Yeah, you want clear eyes.
Yeah, and it looks great. And at the end of the day, when it's time to go home, you pull your stringer out of the water. That first fish, man, he's got those cloudy eyes, This guy was starting to do that. Can't stop. Don't think about it. Keep going.
Where's that chopper?
This is a good time to mention that we were in the channel 5 minutes away from the hospital. 5 minutes by chopper.
Yeah, you don't send a chopper in the channel.
But they did after an hour.
Right.
Because they were so busy following their damn flow chart so that they wouldn't get in trouble that they let the guy die.
There was tons of CYA. That's all it is you have CYA.
Yep.
And even though it's a dead person, I remember I had the medical history, and I had worked in a hospital, so I've had dead people before. I've worked on dead people, but I remember how much it affected you after that.
Oh, that was just a mess.
You really took it hard, and I didn't understand it. And then because of that, but I understand it. I really do now. Just after certain other things, I'm like, here's mucho macho. Yeah. And how can you just let the passing of a life of someone you don't know, affect you so much? And it's like, well, because it was like humanity.
And it's like I was right there actively trying to save this guy, and I've never been in this situation before,
somebody.
When they finally got the chopper out there, because I started going back and forth, up and down, screaming, "Where's the fucking chopper? God damn it!" And going into the wheels, "Where's the fucking chopper?" And they just look at me like, "What's this crazy guy all about?" And it's like, one of your DPO officers just died because you're a bunch of fucks. What the hell? Is this how little you guys mean to each other? Were you there when the paramedics got there?
Yeah, I do actually remember them coming in the room.
They come in with their little machine, they hook it up to him, rip the shirt and stick the things to him and hook it up, and bing, bing. And I'm thinking, fuck, yes, good. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I had no idea. We must have kept him going enough to where there's a weak heartbeat. Nah, it's just the machine calibrating. Bing,
yeah.
bing,
your tone on that was almost perfect too.
It's pretty good, seeing that I'm fighting the Namthrax right now.
Your Namthrax.
Yeah, this paramedic, not just any paramedic, a chopper paramedic,
right?
Turns and looks at me and goes like, "What do you expect me to do?" Maybe I expect you to apologize after losing a couple teeth to my fist, asshole. What the fuck? You go through this every day. This is my first time. Be gentle.
Easy on.
Right. What wound up happening was he said something like, "Go get the XQ9 something or other." And I'm thinking, okay, great. There's one last Hail Mary. No, that was code for a body bag.
Oh,
I don't ever want to have to carry another body bag ever again in my life.
Oh, it's just 6 people in a box, huh?
But then they wouldn't let us leave. No, okay, yeah, you're all here, but you have to stay here. And it was a huge barge, and we were at a weird dock.
That was like going through Intercoastal City, was that? Or do you think we were up in those,
No, it's like
those locks and channels? Or
Morgan City.
Oh, it could have been.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Morgan City. A little further along there in the evening, and then we're all kicking it, and then about like 10 o'clock in the morning, it's like,
Yeah,
where the hell are these people?
When do we get to go?
Yeah, we're all supposed to be here to record a statement. What? So I called up the office, and they're like, "Oh, we completely forgot.
Oh, we forgot
So
about
we forgot you motherfuckers."
See, that's, I think, why supervisors are supervisors. You keep that news from us.
Sure did.
To avoid the mutiny of what the heck
Yeah.
is going on. And I'm just censoring myself because I've been out of diving for long enough.
Yeah.
And I don't say fuck every second word.
Yeah, it's barely been a year for me, so fuck. The crazy thing was, then they just said, well, you guys can just go. Our barge is tied up against this other barge. Out.
Oh, yeah, we had to cross a barge.
Yeah, it was one of those barges that they fill up with either oil or grain or something like that to go up and down the Mississippi. So you've got like a lip about, maybe about 2 feet wide. And then this thing comes up to probably a little above your belly button. That's your walkway, and there's no handrail, there's no nothing. And if you slip and fall, you're going straight down. And they wanted us all to take all our dive gear, but what
50-pound bags.
Yeah, what would you say the average diver has about 300 pounds of stuff that they bring with them?
Yeah, I would travel with a hat box, a dive gear bag, a
clothes bag,
a clothing bag, and a chamber bag.
Bailout bottle, weight belt, all that stuff.
Bottom boots, everything. It was a procession to get all your stuff onto a vessel.
Yeah, there's no way in the world you're carrying any of that stuff around a little 2-foot lip that's slippery from oil. But of course, Justin, big boy, he has had enough. He wants to go home. I'm telling everybody, okay, listen, we got this giant crane over here. We got baskets. Let's just basket everybody over to the vans. And they were like, no, we can't do that. That's not safe. And I was like, you want us to carry all this stuff? That's not safe. Basket us over there. We do it all the time. It's fine. But it was like Billy Pugh. So we were going to be,
all that.
So we could take them over there. And Justin was like, you're not supervisor anymore. Get the hell out of my way. And he navigated with probably 150 pounds of his stuff, on him, hanging on to this thing. He gets all the way over to the catwalk to go down, and it's damn near straight up and down because it was like 20 feet up in the air.
I'm remembering this.
And then the catwalk fell with him on it with 150 pounds of stuff all on him. And then all of a sudden they were like, everybody stop. We've got a Billy Pugh you on the crane.
We're going to basket you over there.
Why in the world would you do anything other than that? And I was just like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, we were some corner cutting mofos.
Oh my God. And Justin was just like, just take me home. It's like, dude, you can't even breathe right now. You're going to the hospital.
I do remember. That's so crazy because it was, another injury after the death. And geez Louise.
Well,
yeah, I remember that company that I'd been on jobs and they're like, well, you weren't our first choice.
The crazy thing, though, is that this barge had just been retrofitted.
Yes, because DP was the big expense for that vessel.
It really was. And so they had a brand new hospital and everything. And I remember I kept on screaming for somebody to go to the hospital, get me the
AED, automated external defibrillator.
Yes. So I sent somebody down to get one and they came up and I was like, where is it? There isn't one.
It wasn't mandatory yet.
I went into that hospital room after carrying that body bag and it was empty.
Yeah.
There was nothing in there. There was a stainless steel table. That was it. All the cupboards were empty. Everything was empty. I lost my mind.
I think that's part of what helped that company that we worked for made sure that there were AEDs on stuff afterwards.
funny you should mention that, because I don't know if you know this part of the story or not. Later, I was back out on the Kelly, right? I mean, of course, I was on the Kelly. I was court on the Kelly for quite a long time there. And then one day, who should show up but Angelo? Now, I love Angelo. Did you ever work with Angelo?
No.
Oh, Angelo was great.
I have a different Angelo, I imagine.
Angelo was one of those people that they called him over for the Joanne to do SAT, and he went, and they liked him so much, and he liked the money, so there he stayed.
Right.
But then I saw him, and I was like, Angelo, what's going on? He was like, oh, dude, they said you want to go fill in on the Kelly, and I was like, hell yeah, and I figured it'd be like really cool, and I was like, dude, it's so great to see you, and he was like, it's so great to see you, awesome. And that was about 2 years after that happened. And for those 2 years, I would go into the safety guy after every job and go, why don't we have AEDs on all the boats? Well, because everybody needs to be trained. We are all trained. We are all trained every single time that you send us in for CPR first aid. We're all trained.
Absolutely.
Why don't we have AEDs on the boats? Well, there's a lot of liability. There's a lot of liability in letting people die. Why don't we have AEDs on the boats? Well, for 2 years, this guy gave me every bullshit excuse in the world. And then a few days after good buddy Angelo comes, he comes in, he opens up the door. I'm sleeping because divers, we sleep until we're hungry and we eat until we're tired, right?
Advantageous.
Yeah.
And take it while you can get it.
I'm sleeping and the door gets flung open and Angelo says, hey, they told me to ask you where the AED is. And I looked at him and I said, Angelo, that is not fucking funny. And he said, what? This is not a joke. And I was like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, Captain Griff just fell out. And I was like, what?
I remember Griff. He was the picture of health. He sweated lard. It was visible.
I think that Griff perspired bacon flavored mayonnaise.
I imagine he could have.
Yeah, I don't care though. If he's still he's part of the crew.
Griff. Yeah, he's
part of the crew.
Griff was a good guy.
Yeah,
he really was fun.
We love Captain Griff, man. He was great. Man, it's just so Cajun. You motherfucker!
What? Row the rope. Row the rope. I don't understand what language you're speaking, sir.
Go to the hose pipe. Yeah.
But if they could swear straight, oh damn.
Cajun swearing is it's an art form. It is a medium for artists to work in.
It's
it really
a beautiful thing.
Captain Griffiths fell out.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Okay, this isn't some random guy that I don't know.
No, this is a lot closer to home.
This is someone I consider family. I'm with this guy on a boat 200 plus days out of the year. I spend more time with him than anybody else.
Right, divers change, tenders change. You have your little core unit.
Yeah, but the captain is the captain's. I get up there, he's laying on the ground, and I'm sitting there thinking, son of a bitch, man. Not going to be able to, save this guy with CPR for sure. And magically, he just started to feel better. But boy, that could have went the other way quickly. Right after that job, I went into the safety guy and I was like, God damn you, motherfucker. Get me AEDs on every boat. Year later, got AEDs on every boat, and they released it in the newsletter, and they we want to thank, through his tireless effort, the wonderful, wonderful, driven, this guy wouldn't give anybody any peace at all. Our safety officer who hooked that worthless dick.
After years of campaigning.
After years of being threatened with physical violence by one of our most psychotic divers that had somebody die on him because he didn't have an AED.
Did they give you an assist on that one?
Not even a little. Not even a little. And I didn't even care at that point, but I did make sure I went back in there and went, you guys don't have anybody fact check this company newsletter, do you? Don't tell anybody I look like a hero for the first time. I'm just some turd safety fuck. Nobody likes me.
No one likes the safety guy.
Nobody likes the
He
safety
gets in
guy.
the way of stuff happening and getting done.
Yeah, it's like, I can finally be just a little bit of a hero, please. And it's like, I'm not going to just...
The benevolence of Eddie.
Yeah, he's lucky for him. But that was just something. You know what, though? I mean, all these people, really, though, when you get down to it, they've helped. And I'm using that in I'm stretching the definition of the word helped as much as I can. But they've helped, form people like me and you into who we are today, and
Absolutely. I mean, we're some of the thicker skinned people I know.
Yeah.
But you'd never be called a snowflake. It does. It takes good and bad to form you.
It really does.
You have your anti and your pro.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, it's like, if it's only an example to be that I don't want to be an asshole like that.
Yeah.
And if it's as simple as that, maybe that's the only impression someone leaves on you. I hope I leave a better impression after I'm whoever I touch,
Right.
That's what you want. And I came out of there with a certain independence, self-reliance. Eddie, thank you for inviting me over here. I'm glad I made it out here to Vegas. When we lived close to each other, I'd like having you as a friend.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll be out here again sometime and we could talk about that time when the cops rolled up.
Oh, God, the cops rolled up.
And my dog in the car barking, and we told them we didn't steal those bicycles.
Steal those bicycles. Get out of my driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a story for another time.
Or our old buddy Shane, the racist Canadian, and the crazy
Another
night.
rest his soul.
Yeah, Shane, I will actually say I loved Shane. Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful guy. Misunderstood by everyone, especially him.
Crowd. Oh yeah, he didn't know himself.
Not even a little.
We got Shane and Terrence. And we've lost a few guys, and
we've lost a lot of guys.
Well, let's keep each other.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I mean, that's it. It's like we're done diving, so let's hope everything works out from here.
I hope I'm done diving.
You've recreated yourself, Eddie.
I think
I hope it works out.
That's the big thing, and I mean, we really do here at Kahler. We make something that's completely awesome, and it's been around since the 80s. And I'll tell you, the people that know are so amazingly, fiercely loyal. It's really cool. And then the people who don't know, little by little, they're catching on now. And Gary, who you just met,
he's quite the character. I like Gary.
He's a hell of a guy.
I think you fell into good company. Didn't even fall in. You actively pursued.
I kind of got lucky. I took a contract position for Loop, which is just the shittiest dive job there is. You're going to get paid absolute crap. And it's the easiest, most mind-numbing, dumb dive work ever.
I did a job out there, one job. We replaced some pipes on the bottom.
Probably some floating hoses.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is that it gave me time to work on the guitar stuff. And I was just going to do a little piece on Kahler. It turned into a big piece on Kahler, and that is what wound up getting me here. But neither Gary nor I ever expected it.
I thought that was crazy when I was talking to you. And you're like, said, I'm done diving. I'm moving to Vegas. I got something I'm working on.
Yep.
And it was so in the embryonic stage that you couldn't even tell me truthfully. Yeah, I got an idea. I'm not sure. We're going to see how it works out. And
you know what? I took so much time that last drive. I had to drive down to Fushan to get my dive gear off the boat. And right there by Loop is this fire station with these two palm trees. And my first hurricane ever, we were tied up at that dock and those palm trees were
sideways,
damn near touching the ground. And so I sat there and looked at them for a minute, drove a little further down to where Charlie's used to be.
Yeah.
Sat there and looked at that for a while.
Yeah, Charles.
I'm really, really good friends with the ex-wife of Charlie's son.
Oh, okay. Almost like right there.
Yeah. It's like
No. I know.
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
It is. Yeah.
But yeah, and then I went up to Anthony's and just walked around Anthony's for a while. And I mean, that place is so closed down.
Your
but
tour on the way out, huh?
Oh yeah, no, I made all the stops, including the Diver Memorial at Morgan City.
I got there last year when I went down for Kevin's thing. Yeah,
took me forever to find it. Nobody knew where it was. They had me over by where Jack's was, and it's like on the other side of town.
It is. It's,
you know, I was like, hell with it. You know, I'll get out of Morgan Shitty, get past New Inbredia. You know, the rat was gone, so you know I didn't have to go. Well, gee, maybe I should have one more drink, even though I haven't drank in 7 years.
America's isn't there either.
No, America's isn't there. The rat isn't there. No. Like there's so many things that just aren't there. Yeah, you know what else isn't there? My youth.
Once again, Eddie Kernan, deep sea diver, has overcome the dangers of the deep blue sea and is now preparing to leave bottom and get into the chamber and enjoy the rest of his days as a deep sea diver. Alright, leaving bottom.
Roger, leaving bottom. Up on diver?
Up on diver slide.
Diver's on
Bottom,
bottom.
Paloma.
Climby. That kind of shit. Up on me hard.
Come up on the diver, slack, get up on the diver, hard and fast.
Fucking triggerfish. Harder than that.
Looking good, keep coming.
Yeah, fucking up on my hose. It's hanging down. Let me know you're there, guys.
Hard and fast, up on diver. Up on diver, hard and fast, up on diver. Get up on diver.
Hey, there we go.
That helps if I turn the mic on.
Now you got me, alright.
I'll stop
We're cool.
diver.
It's cool.
Alright, follow him up, he's up now.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, there's some sharks around there somewhere.
Cool. Where am I at about, 80 feet? 100 feet?
85.
Roger that.